Hello there, my lovely friends and followers. Teshia Maher here with you for another Video Monday. And this week's topic is all about what I am convinced is the number one overrated of all human experiences, and that is thinking. I believe we are overthinking everything these days as a society, and I think that as a result, it's this that's creating our greatest disconnect between us and ourselves. We are not connected the way I think we need to be in order to really become our best selves. The mind will always hold us back. The mind is usually where those thoughts of self-sabotage are. The thoughts that tell you you're not good enough, you're not beautiful enough, you're not thin enough, you're not smart enough, you can't do this, you can't do that. Bullshit. We have to get out of our minds. I think it's really important to get back to our hearts. This is our key to our grace and to us finding peace and to us being truly happy. I've been on this 12-day retreat here in Ecuador, and at this point I'm calling it spiritual boot camp because it is hard work. It's not easy to work on yourself and to really, be willing to go into your darkness and to look at where you could shift and where you could change and where you can become better. Because what else is it about? Our purpose here on earth. We are here to love each other and to spread peace and to be good and to be kind. And that's the number one thing that I'm taking away from this experience here that I've had at the retreat. I've had so many beautiful connections with the other people here. So much love has been exchanged, so many hugs, so many genuine conversations, and it's amazing. And it's reminded me that this is why we're here. At the end of the day, we are here to be human and to interact with each other. And I think we're all lost, in our heads far too often. And sometimes you do, need to break away from the computer and the cell phone and even your own routine in order to remember that. You have to connect back with nature, connect back with other humans, and we have to get back to our hearts. So that's the number one thing that I'm taking away from this retreat, and so I wanted to talk to you about that this week. I want to encourage each and every one of you to tune into your hearts and to start to move out of the thinking brain. One thing I've been practicing even before I came to this retreat, but I'm certainly going to be doing it more and more as a result of my experience here. But one thing I often do is if I'm walking down the street and I hear my mind tell me something that, doesn't serve me, I just take a second and I close my eyes and I put my hand to my head and I pull out the thought and I throw it on the ground. And then I try to carry on. And then, sometimes it'll be only 5 minutes later, I'll have another one of those thoughts and I just close my eyes and I take it out and I throw it on the ground. And these exercises can actually be really helpful in terms of making those connections. Otherwise, sometimes you're not even aware at how often your brain is getting in the way. And so this can be huge for some people if they are disconnected from that. So that might be a little exercise that you can try. Just notice the thought, grab the thought out of your brain and get rid of it because you do not need it. That is for sure. With regards to getting out of our heads as it relates to nutrition, because I always like to relate these spiritual topics back to nutrition, since that's my other big passion and the other thing that I do to help in this world. When it comes to nutrition, we again are often overthinking. We're overanalyzing every single thing we eat, how much we eat. We're calorie counting. We're wearing these watches that tell us how many steps we've taken, with respect to how many calories we've taken in. And whoa, I think that our best bet, I really believe this, and this is certainly how I do a lot of my coaching, It's getting back to ourselves and finding and learning how we can become intuitive eaters. Some days you're going to need more food. Some days you're going to need less food. It's going to depend on your energy levels and on your energy output. It's going to affect on your hormones. It's going to affect a lot of things. But if you can really start to tune in to what your body is asking for, you don't need to worry so much and you don't need to think so much about it all. The other thing is that, often we go to our meals really anxious. We come home from work, we've had a long day, we're starving, and we sit down and we're still kind of tense from the day. And if you're doing this on a regular basis, it's very likely you're going to eat more than you would have if you perhaps took a half an hour and just unwound a little bit and had a tea or stretched or took some deep breaths even. So this is another way that we can practice intuitive eating. Not eating when we are in an anxious state. So finding your calm, connecting back with your heart, remembering that you're a human being, and most of all, start to get out of your head, because generally our minds, I don't think they're serving us. Of course they do in certain ways. We need our minds to think and to process and to be rational and logical, but the thinking mind can be our biggest enemy. And so get back to your heart, get back to yourself, get back to your essence. Follow and chase your light and what it is that makes you your best self. I think this is the most important thing that we could all be doing to raise consciousness as a group, as a collective energy. Until next week, be well. Check out my website if you haven't before, www.teshiamaher.com. I actually have a new site, lots of cool things happening on there. And also follow me on Facebook, Teshia Maher and the Home of Living Live, for lots of nutrition tips and tricks. Stay well and talk to you soon. Bye. Happy Video Monday.